I'm going to call the meeting to order at 5:03 PM so we can get started and be respectful of everyone's time. I'm going to do a roll call. So please unmute and say here when I call your name. Start with myself, Gail Sievert. Bill Boudry. Bill Boudry, are you here? Are you present? Okay. Yeah, unmute yourself.
I'm unmuted.
There you go.
Okay.
Sarah Fowler is absent. Maureen Hickey.
Here.
Harold Mateo is absent. Theo Knoll.
Here.
Stacy Costas.
Here.
Marie Ray.
Here.
Charlie Tukotsky is absent. Kevin York. Kevin, you here?
Here.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, we have a quorum, so we can start the meeting. I know it might have been a little last minute, but I'd like to attempt to approve the September 3rd minute, September 3 minutes. I kind of just, honestly, I just did them today. Do we feel comfortable approving them? I know that some people weren't here. A lot of people here weren't in the meeting. So there's going to be some abstains. Or do we want to table this, give you guys a chance to look at it and do them in the next meeting?
I'm
Any
prepared.
comments?
I'm prepared to move to approve.
Okay, great. So Bill moves to approve.
I'll second that. Maureen.
Second. Okay, we'll do a roll call vote. As I said, I cannot remember. I know that Theo wasn't there. I don't think Kevin was there. So there'll be some abstaining going on, but we'll start off with Bill Boudry.
Yes.
Gail Sievert is a yes. Sarah Fowler, absent. Maureen Hickey.
Yes.
Harold Mateo is absent. Theo Knoll.
Abstain.
Abstain. Stacy Costas.
I'm a non-voting member, so I don't think I get to vote on the minutes.
Oh, okay, that's right. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Marie?
Yes.
Charlie's absent. And Kevin, I think you would have to abstain because I don't think you were there.
Yeah, I abstain.
Okay, great. So we got, all right. So we moved the meeting minutes be approved by a 1, 2, 3, 4, with 4 yays, 1, 2, 2, so many absence. We have, can I do that? Do we have to have them? If I have a quorum, if only 4 people approve, does that still make it be approved?
So 4 would be,
So we have enough people here, but a number of people are abstaining. Like 2 people are abstaining. I'm sorry, I'm a little confused about this part of it.
The total membership of the committee is 8 voting members or
9.
9 voting members.
9, and we have 1, 2,
We've got 4.
4 yeses.
But you also had 2 members since step down. So the quorum might be based off of, the quorum is based off of how many current members you have, not how many.
Okay, so we're saying that Harold and Charlie, as far as I know, have stepped down.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're okay, Gail. I mean,
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. All right, I'm just gonna say it passed and I'll figure out in the minutes when we go back. We're gonna have to push, so the next item on the agenda was the ARPA report, which we're gonna push to a November meeting because we need more time to get the numbers in place. So we'll skip that one. The next on the agenda is for Marissa, just give us an overview that she had a meeting with the MNRHSO. So once again, especially for Kevin and Theo, you've been absent at a few meetings, so I just want to bring you up to speed. So back in July, the Wakefield Housing Trust approved to pay $15,000 to the, had the name out, spelled out, the MA, the.
Metro North
Metro
Regional Housing
ahead.
Services Office.
Yes, which is a consortium of a number of towns in the area, Reading, Wilmington, Stoneham, I think Linfield, and now us, to share a consultant to help with some of the housing tasks that we have, like keeping track of the subsidized inventory, helping us keep track of ownership, doing some research for us, helping promote affordable housing. So the committee agreed to fund it for 1 year back in July. There was a period of time where they didn't have a consultant, so nothing happened. In December, town council approved the intermunicipal agreement. And I believe now, this is where I'm going to hand it off to Marissa. A consultant has been chosen, and there was a first meeting of the towns. Now Marissa can give us that update.
Thank you. Yes, so back on October 2nd, we met with Alexis from Barrett Planning Group. So they are our consultant for our subsidized housing inventory monitoring. So we had a kickoff meeting just to meet the consultant, kind of get on the same page about where we all are in terms of tracking our own individual subsidized housing inventories, and then understand from the consultant what specific services they will, what specific services we would like them to provide for us. So we all pretty much agreed that, we don't have the capacity in-house to keep track of our subsidized housing numbers. It is a lot. So Barrett will be doing all of the work for us, and we are just kind of at this point feeding them the documents that they need to be able to put together a database. We already have a spreadsheet going here. So, we sent that over along with all of the approval documents that they are looking for from developments that have already been approved. So zoning decisions, regulatory agreements, and then for any ownership developments, the deeds to those individual units, and then any master deeds as well associated with the property. And I think as far as Wakefield goes, ownership, keeping track of the ownership units is the biggest, is what's been the hardest for us, because there's a lot more legwork involved there with respect to rental units. And then we took a look at their spreadsheet template, just to make, and we want to make one thing that they want to keep track of that we are already doing, but maybe in other communities are not, is making sure that the subsidy program is also mentioned in that spreadsheet as well. And then we have a regional website. It is mnrhso.org. And when you go on that website, it kind of looks like any municipal website. It's run by the same platform, Civic Plus, but it lists the member towns, and then it has services on there for residents. It also has a catalog of affordable housing opportunities that are available within the region. And then there are other types of resources there that are available as well. So Wakefield, we are a recent, we are joining on to this consortium for this fiscal year. Some of these other towns have been doing this already, and they were using this website as sort of their document dumping ground, so to speak. But in order to make things a little more fluid and a little more collaborative, we are switching to a shared drive. So we'll be using a Google Drive to share all of our documents, collaborate together on any spreadsheets. And that way we can get rid of having to do that on the website. And And that's pretty much it. We, as of right now, so I went through last week all of our digital resources and uploaded everything that I could find into that shared drive. I might have to do some digging through our archives for some of the paper resources for some of those very first developments, and then scan those and get them over to Barrett as well. And then we will have a check-in meeting. I don't think we landed a date yet for the November meeting, but we will have a check-in meeting once a month. And that was pretty much it. Yeah, it'll be a huge help to have a group of planners be doing this for us. So it really alleviates a lot of the pressure in-house.
And when they look at the deeds, I think I'd asked this before, can you make sure that they are, so they're looking to see what liens are on these properties too? Because I don't want to have the same situation we had at that Heron Pond where we're losing it because it was over leveraged and now it's in foreclosure and
Right.
we're not gonna give it back. Oh, Theo, go ahead. Speak, you can.
Oh, Gail, you can keep with your question.
Okay, I was just making, will they be able to do that?
I can certainly ask. I don't think we got too much into the specifics about ownership units, but I will certainly ask that. I would imagine they would.
Okay, all right. I think we need to have that documented to make sure, yeah, we don't get run into the same situation for those that were people owned. And also this is, I've said this again, but I still don't know where it's at. The unit that's coming offline, we should be getting money back that should go to the Wakefield Housing Trust. I don't know where that is. I don't know if the foreclosure is final. I don't know what happened to it. This was something that Steve had brought up, you know, before he left. So, I mean, we started to talk about that, I think, in 24.
Marissa,
So-
I think Kevin Gill knows about it. I heard him reference something like this at Steve's last meeting. Steve kind of
Okay.
said, "Oh, and don't forget this," and Kevin said, I have my eyes on it." So I don't know the details, but I feel like if you ask Kevin, he has the details, and you can let us know it in November.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. So
So, yeah, so my question was, are we expecting them to be updating the SHI quarterly or semi-annually? And then like how secure is the Google Drive?
It's password protected,
Okay.
and invitation only. So, at least surface level, it seems pretty secure. I kind of expect them to be updating it as information comes in, as approvals come in from the state. And so I think it's just regular monitoring and updating so that our numbers are as up to date and as current as possible.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
anything else on the the consulting?
Yes, I have
Oh,
a
sorry.
question. So we said that the $15,000 fee for the consultant was approved in July, and then in December, the town council approved the intermunicipal agreement. When was the consultant actually brought on board? My question being, if we're paying $15,000 a year, when did the clock start ticking? And if was right, should this year be prorated as a result?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
That's been discussed already. Yeah, we are going to get prorated for this year because we did get a late start.
Okay.
So I
great.
think it'll end up being something like 12,000.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other comments? Okay, we're gonna move on to now back to Marissa again. Has the housing production plan been approved by the state?
It was preliminarily approved by the state. They came back with a couple of minor edits that I took care of. And I sent them back. They acknowledged receipt of the new plan. And then I'm still waiting on the official approval. So,
Okay.
so
Mhm.
almost there, like 99% of the way there.
Any other comments on that? Okay, that's just a nice update.
Yeah,
Um,
oh, sorry, did someone
No,
else?
no,
Go for it, Marie.
no, I'm good. You go.
Um, when it's official, I would love to write an article to the item, extolling its virtues, and so, I'm happy to start drafting that, and I can circulate that around so that, if we want to send it as the trust or as individual members, or whatnot, I think it's definitely a big planning win for the town, so. I think it is good to sort of shout it from the rooftops.
I agree, Thea. That would be a great idea.
All right.
Yeah. So Theo, just for everybody, if you don't remember, Theo was also on the Housing Production Plan Committee as well, so. Okay, the next one is, so the last meeting I had let you guys know that we had a walkthrough of the Hurd School with an architect, she's still an architect, but a former member of ICON Architects. She's been working in affordable housing, Janice Mamayak. Sorry, her name's.
Mama Yak, yes.
Her name's a little tough. And we ended that conversation with them, Janice going back, she talked to some of her old team at Icon, and they did create a proposal for a feasibility study. I'm gonna have to pull Stacy into this. We did have a conversation, it was with Bill Renault related to this. And I'm not even sure I don't remember the formal proposal that we got, like how much it was, but one of the things I believe, Stacy, that we sort of landed on in that conversation was that we had to look at this more holistically as it pertained to all of the town's properties and the potential of moving some things around.
Yeah, the proposal off the top of my head was like 30,000, I think, or maybe 35, which is, I think, what you and or Bill Renault thought a feasibility study should come in at exactly. So it wasn't materially below what folks were thinking. It wasn't materially above. It was pretty much right on the money. And so, yeah, Gail is correct. The thinking was during the conversation was that we should take a look at the town's space needs assessment to determine, what's the best use for this building and other needs and other potential building, like the Yule School, and we've got Butler Ave coming online. So Bill's thought, he's been through a space needs assessment in 2 other towns that he's been involved in. And he hired a consultant to do it. And Bill said, off the top of my head, I thought Jonathan Chines already had this cooking, like he's talked to Jonathan about it. And I asked Jonathan, and Jonathan said, no, there's nothing in the pipeline, number one. And number two, why do we have to hire somebody outside? Why can't we just kind of poll all the town departments and, do it ourselves for $0? So I have a call with Dee Casey, our new town administrator, on Thursday night, like our, meet and greet, hello, kickoff call. And this is on my list to talk to her about, has she been through something like this? What is her view on it? What does she envision something like this would be? We talked to Aaron. Aaron Kokinda had some thoughts about where maybe some grant money could be for a space needs assessment. So, nothing's really moved forward. My hesitation with this whole thing is like, I hate it when things slow down to a crawl/stopping point. If we get too hung up on process questions. So I'm going to talk to Dee about it. I don't know if she's going to have thoughts one way or the other. I can send an email back to this group after that conversation about what her thoughts are, but I feel a little dissatisfied with kind of where the answer to the questions is at this current moment.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I left it. It was more like the town felt that it was better to look at it holistically, which I don't disagree with.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, although it's not like we've got, 15 empty buildings that we can, talk about. We've got a couple. So
yeah,
I would hate to see, there was an article that I ran across on the Mass Municipal Association website about a school that was redeveloped for artists housing, basically like, low income, but specifically for artists. And it took something like, I don't know, a dozen years and, 3 mayors and 100 different funding sources. And this is your world, not so much mine, but I guess if that's what we're in for, then we'll just follow the process.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not, development can be a long haul from even the time you like get access to the property. So, yeah, and what we also talked about was, as it related to what Icon produced, it wasn't something that the Wakefield Housing Trust necessarily could fund because our edict is affordable housing. So if this is just something that's, more global, then we got to stand back and wait for it to be something where it's more of an affordable, issue. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where
But I
that's
guess
gone.
the flip side of that is if we determine that it should be developed as affordable housing, we could use funds to start to move forward.
That is correct. That is
Yeah,
correct.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So.
So I'll talk
okay,
to
go.
Dee. I will circle around to this group. I mean, she may say, I've never done one. I think it's a great idea. Whatever you all think is the next best step, go ahead and do that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure she's got a ton of things on her plate right now.
Mhm.
She's brand new in this job. So, and then I guess I don't know, I'll circle back to Bill. So, I'll try to keep it moving forward because I just don't want to see it just sitting.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's a whole
Yeah.
point. Okay, any other comments? Just wanted to bring people up to speed, not leave like some of the story hanging out there. Okay, so the next thing I want to let everybody know is a friendly, so I had a meeting with Marissa, Aaron was there, myself, Brian McGrail, Alex Pietri, and I forget the other guy, Mike somebody, related to the property that is 484 to 504 Salem Street. And that is the property that sits behind the Dunkin' Donuts that's at the corner of Salem Street and Audubon. Guys got it? It's right, pretty much next to the Irving gas station there. And so the owners of that property have connected to the town to try to do a friendly 40B. And the conversation, I was brought into it because I have experience in low-income housing tax credits and that way of funding affordable housing. And also, just in case I had any kind of information related to where you can get soft financing from the state. And just giving them ideas about what they could do. They're definitely were on board with trying to do a friendly 40B. I believe that, Marissa, correct me if I'm wrong, seems like they already have planning and zoning on board. So some of that lifting seems to be done. And they own the
I mean, they
property.
haven't come before either board yet, but they definitely have concepts drawn up. They still have to go through, the state eligibility, get that letter of approval, and then start the process of coming before our boards.
Okay, so
But-
they haven't necessarily gotten the permission from the boards yet. I was kind of confused.
No.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, financing is the first step. That's
Yeah.
what they want to make sure that they have all that taken care of before they move forward.
Okay. So I thought it was a really good conversation. They were definitely on board with, would love to try to get it to be 100% affordable. As I said, we kind of just discussed, there was a property that we did in Lowell. So they were looking at like 24 units. My company syndicated a property in Lowell that was 27 units just in the last year. And I just kind of said, okay, this is what, you know, this is what the sources and uses were for that project. Just kind of give them an idea about what it had cost and where we got the money from, where they could get the money from. I'm going to set up another conversation with them and another higher level underwriter from our company, just in case they have any more questions. I don't know where this is going to go, but I just wanted to let you know that, I mean, as that's what part of us is the housing trust is, you know, finding ways and working with developers, loving to do a friendly 40B. And, you know, to the extent that we get more, you know, units on board, hopefully 100%. But like Marie, we also said, hey, well, if you know, you might be able to get some other financing if you set aside 2 units as for disability, you know, that you've got them worked out for disabled units. So trying to give them some ideas like, okay, well, if you just set aside, you know, 1 or 2, maybe we could get some money there. And, you know, there's workforce housing and, you know, these are the other places. But as Marissa said, and as Stacy had said, yes, to get from, you know, the time that you say, I want to do this to the time you can get the financing in place and break ground. I mean, it could be 4 years. So I don't know what their long-term plan is, but anyway, I just wanted to bring this up, that this is something that we did have a conversation on, and hopefully things will work out with this developer and I can just keep you posted. But we are trying to look at, you know, that piece of property as 100% affordable. They can do it. And they seemed to be on board. Marissa, do you want to add anything? You were in the conversation too.
Yeah, no, I think you pretty much said it all. They kind of came into this not, I guess, just looking for more resources when it came to financing for this project. So that's why we brought Gail in, and to put it very bluntly, she blew their mind. With like they had I don't think they were intending on making this development 100% affordable, just have, you know, your standard 40B with majority affordable units, but then some market rate units mixed into there as well. And Gail can speak to more of this because the financing stuff and all the lingo and everything is lost on me. But the way she had it broken down on her spreadsheet, she gave 3 example developments and, you know, explained, had like 6 different types of financing resources for each one, and explain what the benefits are to making the development itself 100% affordable. And it was, I think even Brian McGrail was like floored with the information too. It wasn't something that they had conceived of prior to this meeting. So it would be a huge step in the right direction. I mean, the way that Gail describes it is it's a win-win. It's a win-win for the developer. It's a win-win for the community. And so it would be really exciting if this could hopefully be like a model friendly 40B development. You know, we would love to see these types of projects come before us in the future.
Yeah, I mean, that was my hope too, is that if we can start to educate on what's available, that if we get one that's, you know, successful, that, you know, it can start the ball rolling and for people to see it and understand that just because it's affordable does not mean we're not talking about the projects. You know, I think every time I bring this up, people kind of think of, you know, South Boston or, you know, Charlestown and the brick edifices that are there. And it's not like that. That's not what this is about. So anyway, that was a positive meeting, and I'm going to set up another meeting with people in my office that are smarter than me. And we'll just keep you posted. I just wanted to let you guys know what was happening.
I think it's great that Brian heard that too, because, you know, he's got a lot of clients around. So that's awesome that you got into his head.
Yeah.
Two thumbs up.
As they say, they crossed the bridge. I don't know if we'll be able to make it happen, but they definitely crossed the bridge of this is something that is available to do.
Yeah.
I would just offer, and Stacy, for your information, I happen to be watching the town council meeting within the last year. The developer and Brian McGrail came before the town council. And so you might want to perhaps ask Maureen or Jonathan about it, so that I kind of thought this thing was further along because I saw them, some time ago. It was in the paper. A friendly 40B, everybody, the town council was just ecstatic at the time, so maybe that's something you might have the opportunity to learn a little bit more about from a couple of your colleagues.
Yeah, and Kevin can maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I agree with Bill. I think at some point they came to the planning committee and said, this is what we're kind of thinking about too. But I think, that was very early on, and Gail, you have led them across the bridge. To really think a lot more broadly about what they could be developing.
Mhm.
So that's really fantastic.
Good.
My understanding at the time, reading about it and watching it, was that it was going to be entirely 40B. That was my understanding. But that's, Gail, I'm looking at your reaction. Apparently, that's not the conversation you were having with them and Brian.
Well, when you do a 40B, what that means is that all the units are available for the denominator, but
Yeah.
not all the units are affordable.
Okay, well, you're educating me.
So that's the big difference.
Friendly 40B was what was being touted at the meeting. I definitely recall that.
Well, the friendly part of the 40B is that there's no Nahant Street antagonism, like we have going on in Nahant Street, where it's a battle, right, of wills, where there's so many people that aren't for that. It's just the developer trying to put the development in by utilizing 40B. So they're just kind of jamming it in there going, oh, you're not going to give this to me? Great, I'm going to make 40B happen and I'm going to put it in anyways. Friendly 40B is where you're like, hey, yeah, this is a great place for it. And yes, maybe we can help you out with financing. And, yes, we'll help you with the permitting or help you with the zoning or whatever needs to go, whatever needs to, we'll get things out of your way in the town to help you provide whatever it is, this thing. As it relates to affordability though, 40B doesn't require every unit to be affordable. Only a percentage of them are.
Okay, thanks. I didn't know that.
I think
The way
maybe-
I understood it, it was all affordable. That's what I'm not
Yeah, I
sure.
don't think so. I think it's only 18% or something of the units have to be affordable. I don't know exactly the number. I'd have to look it up. But all I know is that all of the units count toward the denominator, which is but technically the people that are paying for it, there's still market rate units in it. We just get credit for more units. But what I was hoping for, or that's the reason I joined the housing trust, was to just say, educate people on, hey, there is this product out there that is, funded by the federal and state government to allow for, residential housing to be built that's 100% affordable, which is like 80% or lower of AMI. So anyway, I just wanted to let everybody know, just trying to keep everybody informed of what's kind of going on. And as we have updates at meetings, I'll just, once again, keep everybody informed of what's going on. Is there any other comments, anything else that anybody wants to talk about? Okay, well, since we still have to approve the ARPA report, is there a way that we can get something on the an idea of what people could do in November? We maybe do the 12th? Looks like the 5 o'clock hour works for people, so.
I will be away. But you guys are always welcome to meet without me. I'll certainly send you the report ahead of time. But I won't be there to answer any questions.
any people shout out sometimes? I mean, I'm gonna be in, the next week, I'm gonna be in Puerto Rico, but I can still do a Zoom call. It's not gonna be the end of the world.
I can do that week. I can do the following week, whatever works.
What was the week that was proposed?
Like the 12th. Or we
I
could do
could do
10,
the
10 or
12th.
12.
I could do 12.
10 is town council. I can't do that.
Okay, so. We want to set 12, November 12th at 5.
Oh, wait, actually,
That's okay, Marissa. If you give me that ARPA stuff ahead of time, I can walk that through with them.
Perfect. I'll have it a week
Wait,
before,
Kevin,
'cause-
Kevin's got a conflict, I think.
Oh, do you?
Tina, we'll have planning board on the 12th, actually, looking at.
Oh, okay.
On the Wednesday?
Oh, sorry, no. No, the 12th does work.
Okay, cool.
Okay, the 12th at 5. Okay. Okay, that sounds good. If there's no other questions, I will adjourn the meeting at 5:39. Do we have to vote to adjourn? I always forget how to do this.
yes, yeah, need a motion.
Okay, I don't think I have to go through. Yes, I need a motion.
So move.
So, Bill,
Second.
who's second? Maureen got the second? Thank you.
Sure.
All right, I think we can just do a raise of hands. Everybody agree to the adjournment at 5:39? Great. Okay, great. Thanks, everybody.